Greetings, everybody. Wanted to give you a quick heads up and a reminder that this week, Sunday, November 12th, is Commitment Sunday. As we wrap up our stewardship emphasis and as we begin to look towards 2018 and planning for just what exactly we're going to do, in particular through the budget. Our stewardship emphasis this round has been sharing church. And it actually came from a quote from Elijah Bibb, who's one of the youngest around here, who said, "Sharing church is awesome." And I think he speaks for all of us, because I know that's your heart, because I see it happen week in and week out. How you share church within the walls of the downtown campus and well beyond. You know, it's often said that the sun never sets on the ministry of the United Methodist Church, and that is absolutely true for First United Methodist Church. For what happens here has an impact all across the globe. And we've been saying that God really wants to bring about renewal in our family and personally and in our nation and beyond. And so we've been looking at our baptismal covenant this fall, saying, how does it point towards a new season of peace in my life, a new season of justice in our culture? And we said at every turn that really it's about, that's God's greatest desire. And will we be faithful and be committed to that? And so this weekend is a really important weekend for us to say, okay, we've heard from you, God. We've done a season of prayer and discernment, and now we respond. What you want from us in terms of our time and our talent, as well as our resources. For that's the kind of the raw materials that God takes and begins to work, not only in our own lives as we are faithful to respond what God calls us to, but those around us as well. And so this Sunday, my prayer is that you've had a chance to pray and to discern, and you'll be ready to make a commitment to what God wants to do in and through you and through us for 2018 and even beyond. You have received a newsletter, emails, something in the mail from me. You're probably tired of hearing from me at this point, but just wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to really discern what God is calling you to, as well as calling us all to. So this Sunday, if you're ready, there'll be a time of commitment where we'll receive the pledge cards, the commitment cards as we're calling them, and we'll be able to pray over them. If you're traveling or not quite ready, it's A-okay. You can mail it in anytime between now and really the 1st of December would be wonderful. If you would prefer to make your commitment online, you can go to 1stumc.org and follow the links there, and it'll take you to an online commitment form that you can fill out and to do it that way. I'm excited for what God is doing in your life. Even this week, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but even this week, I have seen you reach out and comfort, reach out and to and just allow God to work through you. And it's not only happening here at 200 West High Street, but I know that you're touching people in places that are very far from here. God is at work in and through you. And so I pray that you had this season of discernment and that now you're ready to, hey, Lord, here is what you placed on my heart, and here I respond. I've said it often that our commitments should not be made out of guilt, or I should have, or I have to. I don't want that to be the place where your commitment comes from this weekend. I want the place where I believe God wants the place for our commitments to come from. Is an understanding, an attitude that is grateful for all that God has given us. We've been blessed, and blessing always has two sides. It is God's favor and also God's responsibility. And so our times of commitment are actually allowing God, sharing with God, here's where I'm willing to be responsible into what you're calling me to. And so I want our commitments to come out of just a great excitement about what God's doing in our lives and what God wants to do as far outside that. I look forward to seeing you Sunday as we come together, and part of our service will actually be not only Commitment Sunday, but honoring our veterans as we remember and give honor to those who serve us, particularly through our armed forces. And it just seems like every week there's one more example of why I am so grateful for those who serve us in a variety of ways and who have served in the past. I'll be in prayer. Hope that you will be too. I'm excited about what God's doing, and I know that God will continue to work because God is willing, God is able, and I know that you are faithful.